Okay, maybe I shouldn't say that, but I will just say this is where I start needing Xaden to be a part of my life. I can't say that.
Yeah, it's inappropriate.
No, I'm literally obsessed.
Hey everybody, just a little disclaimer for this episode. We actually lost all of our audio footage that came from our mics from this episode, but luckily we were able to use the audio footage because we film every episode. So that is the audio that you will be hearing for this episode. It's the only reason we were able to get this episode out and not have to scrap it and totally redo all of it. So apologies in advance if the audio does not sound as good as it usually does and as good as it should. I promise next week we will be back up to our normal quality, and thank you for sticking with us through these technical difficulties. Without further ado, let's jump into this episode and get back into the world of Fourth Wing.
Hi, besties! Welcome back to
Literally Obsessed. It's Cassie.
And Brittany.
We are so excited for episode 2! Episode 2 into Fourth Wing.
We're really getting into it, guys. Like, now
Submerging.
we went through some of the bumps that anybody would have in a first episode.
Mm-hmm.
We got through it, and now we're like really ready for this one.
I'm so excited.
We're really ready.
I'm so excited.
Thanks for sticking with us through the technical difficulties of the first one.
Appreciate it. You should see this setup right now.
No, it's kind of crazy.
We'll post it on our Instagram. It'll look really crazy. So we're kind of going to do the same thing that we did for the last episode. We're going to talk about new chapters, though. It's going to be chapters 11 through 20.
Yeah.
We're getting into it.
We should also probably say, we realized while making this outline, we can't keep doing 10 episodes 10. I did this last time. 10. We can't keep doing 10 chapters per episode.
Yes.
So the next one, I think we're going to go down to about 4 chapters.
Yeah, it's just because there's so much in Fourth Wing that we just can't cover them in like...
And we're getting really excited about the upcoming chapters.
Oh my gosh, and those take like probably 30 minutes.
We'll talk
for like one moment
truly,
in the scene.
We'll talk for 4 hours about one scene.
So we'll probably break it up. There'll be a little bit more content for Fourth Wing for sure, just because we're so passionate about it. And then we'll probably do a couple episodes just like relating to Fourth Wing too, so look out for those. But after this one, we'll probably break it down a little bit shorter.
Definitely.
So we just are too excited, honestly.
I do have to make a quick disclaimer. Yes. I made a mental note to make sure I don't forget.
Mm-hmm.
I was editing the episode 1. This is such a small thing, but it just really bothered me. I mixed up Sawyer and Riddick, and I just have to complain.
And I didn't even catch it.
You didn't catch it.
That's pretty rough on both of our parts.
And I swear I said Sawyer.
Wait,
That's where we were talking about Sawyer and Riddick. And then I was like, oh, Riddick is such a comedic relief. And then I went, oh, and also, this is his second year going through it. It's not. It's Sawyer.
You're right.
And I watched it and I was like, oh, Brittany. So I'm sure we're going to make more mistakes like that. I just really had to call myself out.
You know what? A lot of what this podcast is just us talking. So if there's any facts wrong...
We just get too excited.
We get too excited into it.
But I just had to express that I did catch it.
Thank you for apologizing to the world.
Apologize.
It's like those YouTuber apology videos.
I'm really sorry. I'm sorry to Rebecca Yaros, and I'm sorry to the Fourth Wing fans.
I'm also sorry. I'm a bystander. Didn't even catch it.
I know. So. I know. And you were like, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I just support you. It's fine.
Thank you.
So to begin the episode with a little bit of a spoiler warning again,
yes.
Just in case you haven't read Fourth Wing, please don't listen to this unless you love spoilers. Same thing for content. It's 18 and up. We talk about a lot of explicit stuff because we're talking about our one and only Xaden.
Okay, last episode, we talked about a theory, and Rebecca Yaros had changed her profile picture to black and white.
Yes.
We knew something was coming later on that week. It has now been announced. Book 3.
Book 3.
Onyx Storm. We're freaking out.
Okay, so...
We kind of were like, we can't talk about this. We have to wait until the podcast.
Yeah, we haven't actually...
kind of did.
We got into the topic, but I don't think I've shared my theories or like my thoughts
Yeah, we kind of
in depth yet.
quickly went over
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So she just threw us a little loop saying that she was going to be announcing something on Good Morning America, which is a big frickin' deal.
Yeah.
It terrorized us. We were so scared, and I think like all of our text messages were all like capital letters because we're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Everyone was like speculating, oh, maybe it's
The TV show.
The TV show. So a lot of people were talking about the voice actor for Taryn,
Yeah.
thinking that she was just going to announce that he was going to be the official,
Yeah.
or something to do with the TV show. But threw us for a loop, and it was a frickin'
Well, it was a promo.
It was a promo for
that
it.
he did. He's 100% he's gonna be doing the voice in the show.
1000%.
I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry, I don't think Idris Elba is gonna do it.
No, I don't think so, and I honestly don't want to after hearing this like voice actor.
Yeah.
So I forgot his name.
It's Michael, but I might be pronouncing his last name wrong. I think it's Michael Eoch.
Love you, Michael. You were so good at what
Yeah,
you do.
big fan. You gotta follow her out of me.
You gotta follow her out of us. And she just like did a promo for it. I mean, she announced it like on a video clip on Good Morning America. She was like, "Hi, Good Morning America," and like, Rebecca, we love you so much. And she was just like, "I'd like to announce my book 3, the title for the Empyrean series, and that is Onyx Storm." She hasn't released the book cover yet.
I have pre-ordered though.
She has a I haven't pre-ordered.
Yo, you have to.
I know. I need
because
to.
it's a limited edition, and it's $19 right now.
Guys,
you
I
have
gotta
no
do it.
excuse.
I know. Money always comes back.
And I'm gonna
say.
get it on. I'm gonna get it on Kindle. We're going to the midnight release.
We are going to the midnight release.
So truly, I'm gonna end up with like 3 copies of this.
Yes,
book.
it's gonna be so
I
exciting.
hope it's good. It will be good.
It will be so good. It'll put us into a trial. I know it. For
Yeah.
sure. But we have to wait until January 21st.
No,
literally. You want to tell them your contract?
My I was like, should I just hop into my issues?
Yeah, let's just hop
okay.
You go
Guys, let
first.
me just throw out. I was hoping for a fall release, like October. That was my. I can't even. I don't know. I'm just upset because I know that we for so long were like, Rebecca, just give us a date. But now that I know it's 10 months away, I'm like, no, actually, I think I prefer not knowing.
Mhm.
I can't believe she announced it 10 months. I thought she would announce it like 3 months prior.
It's because we were spoiled with the first 2. She released Fourth Wing in what?
April and then in November. It was crazy. It was 6 months.
It was 6 months apart. But
That's
she's
crazy.
still writing book 3.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's so.
I'm upset. But okay, so the thing
Tell them
is.
your thing.
So my birthday is in January 12th, if anybody cares. I'm a Capricorn.
If you couldn't tell already, Brady's a Capricorn.
I had told Cassie, like, what a great birthday present if she announced the 3rd book on my birthday. And I was really trying to manifest that she would announce the book on my birthday.
She got close.
She didn't. Well, she did announce it on my anniversary with my boyfriend. So she really kind of took that. She took that day, and I was like, sorry. Actually, now I have something else to celebrate.
Best anniversary gift ever.
No, I was like, she missed my birthday. I'll take this. So she announced it, on March 28th, a couple days ago. And then she said that it's coming out January 21st. Significant because my birthday is the 12th and this is the 21st. So I feel like she was like, I'm not going to announce it on your birthday, but it'll come out for your next birthday. My issue now is that I'm going to be 30 years old when this book comes out.
She will be in an entire different decade than me.
I have started and I've started reading this book at 28 and now I'll be 30 and I'm probably not going to be, I'm going to be like 33 by the time the series is done.
How does
So
that feel?
it sent me into an existential crisis.
How does that feel?
Upsetting. You know what my brother said yesterday? Not to get off subject.
No, this is perfect.
He just turned 24.
Mm-hmm.
He's still young and thriving.
Mhm.
And I said, how do you feel now that you're 24? And he was like, well, I don't want to be 25. I was like, yeah, I mean, like, imagine how I feel. Or I said, imagine how I feel. And he said, well, I just feel like it's like you're 25, then you're 30, then you die. And I said, thank you so much.
He's kind of right for that.
Thank you.
He's kind of real for that.
We did just discover that my hearing might be.
Mm-hmm. Brittany can't hear like dog whistle tones or something. She can barely hear Ariana Grande.
People are like, she's such a good singer, and I'm like, she actually doesn't sing in most of her songs.
It's just a lot of breath. But yeah, Brittany's gonna be a little
30.
old grandma.
No, that's
I'm
so.
sorry, I'm kidding.
Okay, that's rude.
I know. To all the 30-year-olds, peace and love you. I'm just bullying her.
No, it's just so upsetting that I have to live through this year and then go into my 30s before this book comes out. I'm upset.
I'll be 22 if that like helps.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So it's so far away. I don't understand it and I hate it, but we'll take it. I'll take anything you get. I also am super anxious about the book cover because I'm like, how come she hasn't dropped it yet?
Well, she did that with Iron Flame too.
How long was it?
Well, it went so fast. I think it's going to be different this time.
I'm stressed out.
I also, like, this is for the TikTokers out there.
Mm-hmm.
This is your fault. Because, no, I'm sorry.
Someone accuses the TikTokers?
Someone has to say it. This is why she's announcing the book so far in advance, is she was like, no one's getting an editing error on my part.
You're actually right. To all the people out there, and I'm looking at you, and you should know this too.
And
You should know this too. All of you. Whoever talked about Rebecca having like these grammatical errors and who like can't read the book cover,
Rebecca alone.
There's the door. There's the door, bitch. Walk out of it, okay? Peace and love. Read it. Get over it. Not her fault. Anyways,
That's her editor's fault.
that's my TED Talk. That's the editor's fault for sure.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that she's like, you know, she's marinating this book and like trying to give it all the love that she can.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, I need it right now.
Yeah.
So thank you, TikTok, but hate you at the same time. So you said that she did the same thing with Iron Flame about the book cover.
Yeah, she did a similar picture, and it was like book art to be released soon.
Okay, I'm wondering.
I want to
what
say, I mean, it was probably like a month later they announced.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna give it like a month, 2 months.
I'm just like, okay.
It's gonna be beautiful, whatever it is.
I know it is.
These are some of the most beautiful books I've ever seen
No,
in
I'm
my
looking
life.
at Brittany's bookshelf, and they're so gorgeous. Oh my god, the French version
It's
ones.
beautiful. Yeah, I
love
kind
it.
of want it.
I need it, but I don't
Can't
need
read
like
French.
4 of the same book.
Yeah,
But I probably should.
yeah.
So the title. Let's get into the title.
Let's talk about the title.
Onyx Storm. Should have saw it coming.
No, I just want to say I'm stupid.
We are not
It's
smart readers.
Such an obvious title. I can't believe I didn't. I don't even know why I wasn't even like thinking of what it would be called.
There's so many things it could have been called though.
Yeah.
So it's like not really on us. But I also think that Onyx Storm is like, it's the same thing as like this whole scalp prickle theory.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is something that we've read so many times that like
Right.
maybe we just didn't think about it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people on TikTok have been talking about how like onyx obviously represents Xaden because we know he has onyx eyes, and the storm is Violet with her lightning storm. So it's going to be like a fight between the two of them.
And I'm terrified.
Mm-hmm. You know what scares me? I think I sent you a TikTok about it. Because Rebecca, I know everyone's freaking out because she's like, there's going to be like friends and old enemies and dragons, but she doesn't say romance.
I saw that. You're right.
But also the old enemies, like,
What does that mean?
who is she talking about?
Who's old?
And
Who died?
I've seen some people who are like old enemies, as in Xaden and Violet being enemies.
Okay.
I think if it's an enemies to lovers to enemies to lovers, I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with it as long as it keeps it going, but they just can't stop being either of those things.
There's not going to be any smut in this book. Do you think? Because in my head,
Unless it's like
I'm coming up with stuff, and I'm like, what if they hate each other, but they have like a passionate
that's what I'm
one-night
saying
stand?
is because like that's what happened in Iron Flame, which
Yeah.
we'll get into. But like during Iron Flame, they were fighting so much
Yeah.
that once they did finally, we didn't get a lot of smut in there.
Yeah.
Fourth Wing, I feel like has the
Yeah.
smut, but
But Iron
Iron
Flame
Flame
has
has
some
a
good-
different type of smut. You know what I mean?
But I'm okay. I can't believe I'm gonna say this.
What are you gonna say? I'm
I'm
stressed.
okay with Xaden going like full evil. It'll be okay in the end. I already know how I want the book to end, so I hope it ends that way. Like the series, I should say. I am okay with him going like so evil because it might be kind of hot.
I kind of agree.
And then them being like secret lovers.
Yeah.
And like, oh my god, the passion because they hate each other, but like there's a deep. It's just giving me like Vampire Diaries.
Yeah,
vibes.
it's going to be an uphill battle because we still have like so many books after this. It's basically
Yeah.
like 3 full books after, like
Yeah, we have
Onyx
three more books.
So she has to spread it out somehow. So if Xaden becomes evil, then we just like another bad boy, and that's okay.
In the end.
He'll be
It's
okay.
fine.
He'll be redeemed. That's why it comes to our theory that, Violet is the cure. So she'll heal him, and then they'll be happy with babies or whatever they want to do in their endeavors.
No babies, no. That's a trope that I hate. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just personally.
Wow. Our first disagreement caught on camera.
Sorry, I literally hate when authors ruin a book with and now they're pregnant. It's like, okay, they had so many other things that they could have done.
Yeah, they're gonna live a long, healthy life
Sorry,
together.
I'm a
for
hater.
Sure. It's okay. Hater first.
Hater first, feminist second.
Truly, that's Miss Brittany. I'm just really excited for this book. It
so
really
excited.
got me so thrilled in wanting to reread all the books.
Yeah,
I've been
oh my
wanting
God.
to do that anyways.
Yeah,
so
I'm
it'll
going to reread them
time.
in third. Yeah, I'll do it. I'm down.
Yeah, so we're really excited. Hope you guys are also excited for that. We will keep you updated if Rebecca does put anything out there for us. The author, not the author, the book cover, all that fun stuff. We will let you guys know and talk about it as it comes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we can now dive into our synopsis.
So these chapters have a lot going on.
So much, guys. So we're going to have to kind of breeze through
We're gonna have
the
to.
synopsis, and then we'll dive in a little bit more and share our favorite moments and quotes and all of that.
So starting with chapter 11, we go into the gauntlet. So the gauntlet, I know Brittany explained it how it was Wipeout, if you remember. And
Tell me it's not, guys.
No, it
Tell me
is for sure.
She was 100% inspired.
Cement balls instead of rubber balls, as we talked about. And this is kind of where we start to see Xaden really kicking into his his protectiveness, because he's starting to give her advice. He gives her daggers, all this stuff to kind of help her equip for the gauntlet.
Yeah. Yeah, he just kind of tells her the right way doesn't necessarily mean it's the only way, and it's because he knows that she's smart, and she'll go back to the codex. So love that.
She also starts to get a lot more enemies. I mean, she came into the Writer's Quadrant with all of these enemies anyways, but we find a couple new ones, like Amber.
Fuck Amber.
No, truly, fuck it. She
was against her from the beginning. No, truly.
She is hater first, feminist second.
I don't think she's a feminist.
She's a masochist. You heard it here live. No, but truly everyone's out to get Violet.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much the entire series, but this is where we kind of start to see it. There's a lot more kind of bickering between her and a lot of the cadets. So, but guess who's always got her back? Xaden. As much as he says he wants to kill her, no, he doesn't. Yeah.
Chapter 12.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, chapter 12. We go into presentation, which is kind of where they walk in a straight line and all of the dragons are lined up, and they can kind of choose in that moment or get an idea of who they might want, see who pisses off the dragons.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
It's pretty scary because if you don't really remember, but if you were to read this, I didn't envision these dragons being as big as I think they genuinely were.
Yeah.
They're huge.
My brain still can't comprehend
how
big Baron is.
But they're building size creatures. So just imagine walking through that.
Yeah,
it's so
scary.
terrifying. But yeah, so you're basically being walked, and then you're being judged by the dragons, and then whatever you're actually going to be bonding with, that's what happens during this. And then something happens with the dragons, and they smell, is it the Dain?
Okay, I always pronounced his name, so this is Mira's dragon. I always thought it was Dain, but I've also heard Tiny. I think is how the audiobook pronounces it, but I haven't listened to the audiobook, so I'm not sure. At the beginning of the book, Mira makes a armor vest for Violet, and it's made out of, I'm just going to call it Dain.
I'm just going to say
It's
that too.
made out of Dain's dragon scales. So when they are doing the presentation, these dragons smell Dain and get a little worried. They probably think that Violet has killed their friend and is wearing their skin.
How terrifying.
No, that's probably so scary. So then she talks with them and is basically like, oh, you smell like I'm Mira's sister, and she made me this out of Dain's dragon scales. Which, how sick.
No, Mira's badass.
No,
I love her. Love her so much. And then, the squad goes down to 6.
6 first years, guys. We're on chapter 12, and we're only at 6
People
first years.
die left and right.
I mean, in 4th squad, or 4th wing. Oh my gosh.
wing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, yeah, we start to see the count go really, like, it goes down.
Yeah.
May their souls be...
Ever in our favor.
Or what is it? It's like souls to
Oh,
Malik.
we commend their souls to Malik.
Malik being
Not
the
all of
god
them.
death.
Some of these people, like, deserve it.
Yeah. We ain't condemning you. And then we get into chapter 13, which is the threshing. The threshing
This is where it starts.
It's starting. So the threshing is when it's basically you're getting bonded with your dragon.
Yeah.
And ooh, I don't know how to say his name.
Tynan. Honestly, forgive us, guys. We are 100% gonna like mispronounce names. We're gonna
So
mix
sorry.
people up. I'm sorry.
But we're trying.
Tynan. I would pronounce it
Tynan
Tynan.
and Oren.
Oren and
Jack. Remember Jack from last time? Yeah, he's still here. We hate Jack Barlow.
I hate him.
This is really where shit goes down, okay? They try to kill baby Andarna.
Yeah. Because she's gold.
Because,
and a baby.
Like, are you fucking crazy? Jack
Yes.
Barlow, if you're listening to this, I hate you. But they try to kill her. It's really sad, and basically Violet saves Andarna, which kind of creates this bond between her and Taryn, because he's like, wow, you protected her, and like, and kind of reveals that he chose her for a reason. Same thing with Andarna. Andarna also chooses her. So Violet is like this one-of-a-kind rider now, where she's bonded with 2 dragons, not just one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some cred.
And it's kind of 13, 14, and 15 are all kind of threshing. So Violet takes on these 3 guys by herself, and then Taryn steps in and scorches Tynan
Right in front of Violet.
right in front of her.
Traumatizing.
And then he tells Violet to hop on and that he has chosen her, and Violet's like, no, you don't want me. And he's like, get on, Violet. And then she falls.
Yeah. And it's kind of scary because I think it was like the end of chapter 14 ends with it saying like, and then I'm falling, or something like that. And then chapter 15, we learn that like Taryn just has like this big soft spot for her already. We know why, but then he like catches her and like kind of,
Which dragons don't usually do. If you fall off, that's it.
That's it.
You're dead and you're unbonded.
and he like kind of, he helps her out a lot. He like maneuvers his body so it's like easier for her to get. Remember, she's small, she's fragile, she can't do a lot of stuff that other people can do.
Yeah.
But in chapter 15, we also see that people are just like freaking out, like, oh my gosh, she has 2 dragons, and one of them is a gold baby dragon. So
and Taryn is like the scariest dragon.
It's so scary. Everyone's like, and he hasn't also been bonded with a rider in 5 years because of the last rider.
5 or 6 years.
5 or something like that. Chapter 16. Oof. Okay. Oh my gosh. We're looking at these little notes that we have here.
another Xaden POV here. So
this is kind of a little bit of a crazier chapter. The elders of like the dragons decide if Violet can keep both dragons. It's this like on and off debate of, it's up to the dragons, and then the politics in Vazgayath, they are like the professors, and all of them are debating too, but then Taryn is basically like, you can't tell what a dragon can do or what.
Yeah, dragons have the say over humans.
Yeah,
so.
which I look how big they are.
Yeah.
And then Dain's a bitch.
Dain's a little bitch.
This entire chapter just shows how much of a bitch he is.
Yeah, and he wants Violet. He's like, Violet, you're gonna have to pick. And he's like, and you have to pick Andarna because like, because he's scared of Taryn and Sigale's bond, because Xaden's dragon Sigale is mated to Taryn, and he's like, I don't want you near Xaden. So annoying.
Little bitch. And then like Dain accuses that Xaden manipulated threshing, because when Violet was attacking the 3 guys, he was giving her advice, but he wasn't like in the threshing, because they're not supposed to step over the squad leaders or the wing leaders. So he's like, oh, you manipulated this by helping her, and he's like, no, like Violet did that all on her own. So this is kind of when Violet starts to realize that Xaden doesn't want to kill her, but he just keeps saying that he does.
He's a liar.
He's a little liar. It's love. It's the beginning of love.
It is. Violet also gets a pretty sick relic on her back. When you bond a dragon, you get a relic, so it's like a tattoo, and she feels like a burning sensation on her back, and it's basically what we know on like every piece of Fourth Wing merch, and it's like a big black dragon, and in the middle there's a little gold one to represent her 2 dragons.
I want to get it on my back.
No, I've seen the fan art.
It's so badass. Cool. It's so badass. It looks so good. And then we pretty much end this chapter with this most disgusting moment of the book.
Yeah.
Violet and Dain kiss.
This is the one moment of like, I can't call it smut, but of like romance
that we get.
I never want to see.
Yeah, I hate it. And in Xaden's POV, he is obviously very jealous. You'll read like what does he say exactly? But I think he's just like, oh, like I can't believe that his lips.
Oh,
I
I think we have it written down. Later on.
You're right.
So we'll get there.
But that POV it's so good. We start to kind of see what's in his head for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And we see that he's jealous.
Yeah, he's so jealous.
He's so jealous. 17. Oh my god, so much is happening. Like, literally. Our notes are so funny. Okay, 17. The riders get their own rooms. When you're a rider, you don't have to sleep in the barracks anymore. You get your own room. Bougie. And Violet and Rhiannon are right across the hall from each other, so love that. We also get to meet other second years, so like Imogen and Quinn, and more of the marked ones that will become very big characters moving forward. Violet falls off Taryn too many times to count. So
literally every single time that she's trying to get up on him, she's always falling.
Yeah, and she also starts sparring. And it is because her and Xaden are now tethered to each other through their dragons. So she kind of pieces together that Xaden is putting Imogen on training her so that she doesn't die.
Because he's in love with her.
Yeah.
But also wants to like live.
Yeah.
And then in chapter 18, we meet Jacinia, our bestie.
We love Jacinia.
She is in the scribe quadrant, and she basically is helping Violet and all of them like learn more through like battle brief. I know that's kind of like, and Violet likes to go back to the library or the scribe quadrant and just kind of like read and kind of get all of this information back in her head.
Yeah, this is the first mention that we get of the Fables of Baron, which is a book that Violet's dad used to read to her, and it was like a book of fairy tales basically. This is also the first mention that we get of Wyvern and Venom, which play very, very huge parts moving forward. And this is where she realizes that there is no record of them anywhere.
So, despite all of this like craziness that she's learning, Riddick, comedic god, he is the funniest little comedian ever in this one.
We love him.
Love him. And then Sawyer, aka Riddick, according to Brittany, we learned that he can manipulate metals.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty fun. They all get they're starting to like understand their like signets, which are their powers that they get from their bonds, which is really cool. This part.
Yeah. So
this was honestly low-key kind of traumatizing.
It's kind of crazy. No, it really was. So we meet a character named Jeremiah, and he's in it for about a page. he gets his signet, and he is intrinsic. So intrinsic means that you can read minds. I did not understand what that meant for like I was like, is intrinsic a real thing? I had to look it up.
Something with intuition, because like intrinsic.
Because then there's also intrinsic, but that means something else.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's a big word that I did not know.
Yeah. So he is intrinsic and can read minds, and he basically starts freaking out on what I will call their quad, if you will. And I think it's Kaori, right? Professor Kaori comes over and snaps his neck in front of everybody.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty awful and scary. And that's when, I think Xaden tells Violet to like shield her thoughts so that
they
Jeremiah
actually don't talk.
not yet, but he like yells at her. He's like shut off your mind so that Jeremiah didn't read her. I remember that.
Okay.
Just because that was like the first time she was like realizing that she has to like block off her thoughts because Jeremiah was just looking at everybody and like saying everything that they're thinking.
Like, oh, you're thinking this. You think I'm crazy.
Yeah, so that's why like being in Tinsic is so scary, because
it's like the ultimate weapon.
It's the ultimate weapon. Knowledge is power.
Yeah. Oh my god, this book really is all about knowledge is power.
You're actually really right. I didn't even think about
Yeah.
that. Wow.
Yeah.
Rebecca said the power of knowing and reading. Thank you, Rebecca. Ooh, and then
Oh, it gets so good here.
It's crazy. Violet gets actually attacked in the middle of her sleep at the very end of this chapter.
She does get warned that a lot of the unbonded riders are going to try to attack her.
Yeah.
Because that's when your bond is the least strong with
least
your dragon.
formed, yeah.
So they'll try to kill you and bond your dragon.
So she gets attacked by
Orin, a bunch of other unbonded first years.
Yes. And what was his name? The one I can't remember.
He died.
Yeah, they all just basically died.
He died on the threshing.
He did die.
Yeah.
He got flamed.
Yeah.
And then, Orin gets killed by Xaden. And this is something where we find out that Andarna can stop time while she's still, like,
A baby.
a baby. So that's, like, a fun little power that she gets to have while she's a baby. Just reading our note for chapter 19. Let me just read it out to you guys. Xaden uses his Smexy shadow powers to kill Orin.
And he does.
And he did. This is where I feel like I started to envision those shadows looking like the Twitches one.
Yeah.
Because and then it's pretty traumatizing for both Xaden and Violet, and this is where he's starting to be like, I need someone like to protect you and all of this stuff.
Yeah. And chapter 20, Violet starts to get down bad for our boy.
Our boy.
And we actually start to see that Xaden trusts Violet all along and believes in her because she admits to, he's very confused how they were able to get into her room because they shouldn't have been able to get through the locks without, like, I think only wing leaders have the way to get into everybody's room.
Mm-hmm.
And she is like, you're not going to believe me. And he's like, try me. And she reveals that Amber is the one that let them into the room. And he very quick, like, he doesn't even question it. He believes her. And
she dies.
Amber
dies.
Yeah. We also get to meet
Liam. Our baby boy.
So we meet Liam. And, Dain does not believe Violet when she says that Amber did this. So
yeah, he's like, oh, you can't just blame her for that.
Yeah, and then he's like, give me your memories. And it's like, Dain,
oh my god,
back the fuck
I
up.
hate him.
But Taryn shares Violet's memories, and we find out she's telling the truth, obviously. So, fuck you, Dain.
Fuck you, Dain. That's the synopsis of the entire book is fuck you, Dain.
Truly.
So that's pretty much what happens in these chapters. Now let's kind of go into our favorite moments of all of this.
Let's do it.
Go ahead, Brittany.
Oh,
Your
okay.
first one is really awesome.
Oh. It just says fuck Dain. So pretty much what we were talking about. I have actually, did I write down the quote? Yeah, there's a moment between Dain and Violet where she's basically like, oh, well, how come you're okay to do this, but I'm not? And he's like, because I'm a writer and you're not, you're a scribe. And honestly, it's just
so
like,
fucked up.
literally get out of here, Dain. This is when we start to see Violet talk about how she has changed since the parapet, and there's like a great line where I think Dain literally asks her, like, what changed since the parapet? You wanted to go to the scribe quadrant. And she's like, me. Like, maybe I am a writer. She starts believing in herself, so good for her.
I hate men that don't believe women. It's awful. And okay, my notes.
They're a little unhinged. I love them.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't say that, but I will just say this is where I start needing Xaden to be a part of my life. I can't say that.
Yeah, it's inappropriate.
I'll say a little bit. I need Xaden in every way. End of story, period. But one of my favorite moments is actually when Taryn is picking or choosing to bond with Violet. Something about it, I don't know what it is, but it's giving like, you know, Violet lost her dad, and Taryn's like this mentor for her, and like totally believes in her, and like something about it, I don't know. I don't know if I actually wrote down the quote for it, but I think that it's just really cute the way that like he talks about her and like tries to uphold her like confidence. So something about it just like, it scratches a little part of my brain. I love it. And then like the fact that he's making like adjustments for her while she's learning how to fly, obviously shows like he has like this big soft spot for her, which we kind of know why already. But just all of his tactics of like, okay, we'll try doing it this way, and then he's super sassy while doing it. So I just think his character is truly, I remember when I was reading it and I was talking to you about all the dragons, you said something, you were like, the dragons are truly like one of my favorite characters in these books, because they just have like this awesome personality to them. That it makes them super alive, and not, I don't know why, but I envision them as humans sometimes and not just dragons. So I love him.
I love Taryn. Something else that I, going back to I'm trying to be a smarter reader, and I'll talk about that later. But I'm trying to pay attention to all of the times that Violet's scalp prickled, so we have more of those. And it happens actually in chapter 13, 16, 17, and 18. It happens when Xaden is leaning up against a tree, watching her at threshing, which, first of all, hot. My scalp will prickle too. It happens after threshing. I think that she like feels it, and Xaden is staring at her from across the field. And oh my god, I just have to throw this moment out. Okay, Xaden using a dagger to peel an apple has to be the hottest thing that I've ever imagined.
Can you, okay, just everyone
and there's
for a second.
Prickle.
Just imagine. He's holding an apple.
Here's what I'm...
oh my god.
I have to... Okay.
You know Book Talk hands? You know how Book Talk is obsessed with male hands? Have you seen that? Okay, am I on a different... Anyone else seen that?
We talked about guitarist hands before.
Yeah, it's the same thing, okay?
Yeah.
But Book Talk is obsessed with, like, hands.
Okay, that's
if
fair.
you know, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm envisioning, is that hand holding an apple.
No, I'm just... And it's probably like that big. It's like a little cutie.
It's actually a huge apple, but it looks like a little cutie to him.
I'm just imagining. Okay, I have like an envision.
Tell us.
Like envisionment? I don't know. I'm envisioning how the cafeteria would look, and I'm just imagining like, okay, this is gonna sound kind of crazy. High School Musical, East High, but the layout.
Got it.
But castle. Okay, so let me explain
not East High.
Let me explain what
Imagine High School Musical as, I don't know, ride or die bad guy at War College.
No, so I'm picturing like a base layer where there's tables and chairs, like a typical cafeteria. But then I'm picturing the wing leaders are kind of like up on this elevated area. So like where Ryan and Sharpay sang.
Wait, what song? Why did I forget? Status Quo?
Fabulous.
Oh.
Or Status Quo, yes. Like how they're up there. Oh, I'm sorry, not Fabulous. I'm so sorry. I'm talking. Oh my god.
That was really bad.
No, and now I can't remember the song I'm thinking of.
Status Quo?
No, from the third movie.
I Want It?
Yeah, I Want It All. Thank you. That is what I meant.
No, I agree. I feel like they're on like this watching.
Up watching down on everybody. So I'm imagining Violet's like, she looks and he's like up on this pedestal. Do you see it? Do you see
No,
but it's like, totally but think like Hogwarts.
I also envision it like every part of Best Guy had like big open.
Oh, like arches.
There was like barely any walls. There's barely any like roofs to it. I don't know. I just envisioned that because every time they talk about the dragons flying over, I'm like, how would you see it?
Yeah, I think it's like wide open. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just picture him up there and he's just carving an apple with a dagger.
He's like, he's man spread. Do you know what I'm saying? He's like man spread. Yeah. Let me just do it for the viewers watching.
Yeah. I actually didn't picture the bite. I just pictured the...
Oh, okay. We had different imagination. Anyways.
Anyway, all I have to say is it's the hottest thing I've ever read.
No, it literally, anything he does, but that and like standing against a tree.
Yeah, there's another part, we'll get to it eventually. He literally, it's like nothing, but I'm like, that's so attractive.
Well, now I want to know.
Well, I'll talk about it when it comes up, but there's just a scene, I don't even remember the chapter, but like, this is when she first finds out that they can communicate through their minds, and she's like sitting on a chair and he's sitting next to her, and then she says that he like leans back and like puts his arm over her chair.
Oh my god, I know exactly the scene.
Do you know what I'm talking about? And I don't know why, but when I read it, I was like,
no, because
I don't know what it is. He literally just put his arm around her chair. It's a thing that like guys do all the time, but it's like
it's
gross
different
when real boys do
it's
it.
different when he does it. He's different.
But I'm like, oh,
no,
and I'm
so
mad.
cute.
Oh, yeah,
He's
I'm
so
in love.
cute.
I'm in love.
Just a
I'm
woman in love.
and I don't care who knows it.
So also, I just want to like mention again Riddick. He is our bi king. He's just flirty with everybody, and I don't think it's in this part, but he says like a quote to, like about Xaden, and he's like, oh, well now all my fantasies are going to be ruined.
Yeah, that's an iron flame.
That's an iron flame.
Way ahead.
But just to when we get there, like, he's just has that like really funny humor to him.
Yeah.
That's literally one of my notes, is that he's just a bi king. So
he is.
Love you, Riddick.
I love that we start to see Xaden he's just super confident in Violet fighting her own battles, like against Jack and against other people, and he doesn't baby her. He's very just like, you can do it, like, and it's like, it almost seems mean, like she's like, okay, jerk, do it for me.
Yeah.
But it's like him trying to build up her confidence and like get her to fight her own battles.
Yeah, he, especially during sparring, he is like really taking on this like, okay, you're doing moves that are too big for you, or like don't do, like, so she's like learning in the moment, and I don't know, he's taking like his patience and like his time and his energy into her, and you can really tell like how much he cares about her. Because I think they said, like, we realized that he fell in love with her the first time he saw her.
No. I'm sorry. No.
Did you see that? Yeah. Did you see that?
No, he says he fell in love with her the first time they kissed. In the snow.
Okay, but he was falling for her though.
Okay, but like he
already had.
He knew in that. When we get there next episode, I have some thoughts.
Okay.
I think I know the exact moment.
Okay, I can't wait to hear it.
That he fell in love with her.
Okay, can't wait to hear.
I would love to believe that he fell in love with her when he saw her.
It's just my hopeless romantic thinking.
I don't think
that
he did though.
That's fine, I get it.
I think he was like, she's hot.
Yeah. Well, that's enough for me. So, I might have gotten it wrong when he fell in love with her. Sorry. But I'm just saying, we really start to like see how much he cares for her, and I think that's like pretty much one of my favorite parts of this entire like part of the book, these like 9-ish, 10-ish chapters. I also forgot to say Imogen.
Got it. It's a hard name.
All these names are kind of hard, okay?
You know how I know? Imogen Heap.
Who?
She's a singer. You don't know her?
Mm-mm. Who is it?
She's a singer.
Okay. Slay, Imogen. Pop off.
You would know her. Like, trust.
Okay, you're gonna have to show me.
Okay.
But her character arc is so... Okay, she was never awful, but I just want to say, like, she wasn't, like... She's hater first, feminist second, for sure.
For sure.
But she has, like, this really big character arc, or just the way that she is this badass bitch training Violet during sparring. It's giving, like, girl power. It's like this bestie type vibe, even though they really aren't friends. But I don't know.
They will be.
They will be, for sure. They'll be tied. She's just a badass, and I love her.
Mm-hmm.
She's really iconic.
Speaking of iconic women, Rhiannon. I love how we get to start seeing Rhiannon and Violet's friendship growing, and now they're roomies. Kind of, they're like neighbors.
They're neighbors.
And I just love the start of like this beautiful friendship. And I also love that Rhiannon and Sawyer hooked up.
It was so funny.
And I love how she's like so confident about it, and Sawyer's so like shy.
He's so shy,
It's
and
so
Rhiannon's just
cute.
like, well,
She's like, yeah, it happened, everybody.
it was. How was it exposed? It was like,
Because Violet walked out of her room, and Rhiannon's room was right across the hall, and they both walked out of her room at the same time.
and they were just like,
Well, Rhiannon's like,
but then
but
Sawyer's
then
like,
like
he's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But I love it.
they were
Rhiannon-
celebrating being writers.
Come on.
And she was.
I'm gagged. Brittany. Britt and Fuentes, that was crazy. Oh, the way it actually took me a second to process what you said. I was just like, yeah, you're right.
Thank you,
Everyone
everybody. I'll be
snaps
here
for
all
Brittany.
night.
That was amazing. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
That was so
I
good.
hope none of our family members are listening.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Me too.
It's okay. They'll understand the humor. So with that, I think we kind of covered all of our favorite moments.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I have two more.
Okay.
Two quick ones.
Okay.
It's not a favorite moment. I just need to point out how fucking stupid Dain is again. Why did he kiss her, guys? He's a squad leader.
Okay.
And I know in about 2 seconds I'm going to defend Xaden when he's a wing leader.
Different.
It's different. I just can't get over. He's a squad leader, so he's like in charge of them, right?
Yeah.
And he kisses her in a field in front of everybody. Literally, Rhiannon is like, you guys kissed in front of all of us. You didn't think we were going to see?
Well,
Like, that's so unprofessional.
HR, get on
I'm
it.
calling HR.
I also think that he did it, he agreed to do it or whatever, for all the wrong intentions.
Yeah, you think it was to make Xaden jealous?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like it
That's
came across,
even
like,
worse.
territorial.
You just put your
Mhm.
position
on
at
the
risk
line. Yeah, for it.
for a man?
No. A man? No.
No.
No, honey. It felt very territorial to me.
Yeah, I
Because
hate
it's
him.
Like, like Xaden, like I
Yeah.
had her first, and she's
Exactly.
still in love with me. Little
She
do you guys
wasn't.
know, she like fell off of the Dain train pretty early.
Dain train. I love that.
The Dain
Dain
train.
We
That's-
are off the Dain train.
We're off the Dain train.
Okay, and then my last moment, so
Mhm.
quickly. I love that Taryn begins calling Violet out
Oh my god.
for her attraction to Xaden.
Yes.
And so he calls her out because her heart rate, or she talks about like, oh, Xaden is so annoying. He's like, annoying? Is that what you call it when your heart rate like picks up the way it does or something? Oh my god, I love it. Call her out. Call her out,
call
Taryn.
her out, and I also, that's just the silly little
It's so
quirkiness of
funny.
him, and he's so funny. And to think it's because, Taryn has this, like, long-lasting partnership with Sigale, like, he's like,
It's like
I
these
don't know how you're
kids.
feeling, you these
Oh,
little
yeah.
kids. Oh my gosh, they're just so cute. I love them. I feel like that we just have, there's so many moments in this whole little section. That's why I'm so glad we're, like, breaking it down after this one. But like all these moments are just
Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
So now we will move into some of our favorite quotes.
Uh,
Cassie, do you want to start us off?
well, everyone kind of already understands that I'm mostly obsessed with Xaden. I'm not going to forget every other part of this book, but most of my favorite quotes and moments are from him. But my first one is from chapter 16, Xaden POV. The first two, actually, is her eyes flare and her lips part, and I'm definitely not thinking about her mouth. Not when I have bigger concerns of how to keep her alive. Not thinking about the best angle to kiss her either. And this is, or what her perfect ass would feel like in my hands. Are you crazy?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's unhinged, Xaden.
Is that what men think? Is that what they think?
I don't think that men think that. Wait, oh my god. I was just about to be like, I don't think that they think that romantic.
Is that your definition of romantic,
Well,
Brittany?
it was at first when he said the best angle to kiss her. It's kind of cute.
Well,
then
and
he
then
turns into a real man.
A real man.
That
Where he's
probably
thinking that's what
is
you're
what
right,
they think.
actually. I
I
know
don't
that's
know.
pretty
That's kind of cute. Do you think the guys are ever like, aw, I want to kiss her?
I'm sure they do.
That's so cute, guys. Just express it.
No, it's so, guys.
It's so cute.
Read
Read the
to
room.
the guys or whoever wants to read this. Just know you're gonna get a lot of good relationship / like okay, they have issues, but you'll learn that you have to work through those issues
Yeah.
through this book. I know that's a pretty vulgar quote.
Is it?
Not for this book.
That's not
but
vulgar. For what the rest of it.
You're right. That's a pretty vulgar one to start out with. Do you want to give one yours before my other one?
Yeah. Okay, so mine's gonna go like completely 180. And it's also from Xaden. I just think that this is like a really cute line. And he says, hope is a fickle, dangerous thing. It steals your focus and aims it towards possibilities instead of keeping it where it belongs, on the probabilities.
I'm gonna get.
I said
hope
that
is
was a
fickle
cute line.
thing.
It wasn't cute, but it was kind of inspiring.
No, I'm gonna get that tattooed.
I think
Hope
it's
is a
yeah.
fickle thing.
Oh my god, I love
Hope
it.
is a fickle thing.
Don't have hope, people.
No, don't have hope. No, that one's really cute.
Yeah, I
too.
like it. He's Xaden with the advice, you know?
He's so knowledgeable.
I love him.
I love him. My next one, again, switching up to the different side of Xaden, is same thing from chapter 16, Xaden POV. Fire rushes through my veins and shadows spasm around me, disordering my vision for a second. Dain fucking Ados has his mouth on my violence. Violence. Love it. When he calls Violet violence, I swear. That's it. Silence. Something about it. His jealousy, like he like truly feels out his emotions, which is so iconic for him.
Okay, next up from chapter 15 for me, I just love this line because it is obviously alluding to something way more in the future. But Tairn, when Violet is like, you don't want to bond me, he says, I know exactly who and what you are, Violet Soaring Gale. Who and what?
I'm gonna need you to say that in the Tairn's
What the
voice.
fuck is she, Tairn?
Can you say it in his voice?
I
With his
really
voice,
can't. No. It's like,
I know exactly
oh, whoa.
what you are.
Okay, but think like deeper. He always does like a growl.
Not it. I'm not gonna get cast, I know.
We'll ask Michael.
How he does it.
Yeah, I just think it's one thing to say I know exactly who you are,
What?
but what?
that brings
Venom?
in our thing about her being
The
half
cure?
Venom. The cure.
And then she doesn't question it. She's just like, oh, okay.
She's like, yeah.
I'd be like, what do you mean? What? Am I not a human? Am I part dragon?
What
are
who
you
am
talking
I?
about?
Yeah. I don't know who it is. I don't know what she is, but
She's something.
I think we'll dive into it
yeah.
in a little bit. Yeah. God, it's always keeping us guessing, Taryn.
Always.
My next quote is actually from her father, Violet's dad. This is like a flashback memory that she has in chapter 18, where he says, "You're not like them, Violet. That's not your path." Talking about the writers. Your mother has never understood that while writers may be the weapons of our kingdom, it is the scribes who have all the real power in this world. Kind of a crazy thing that her dad said, not knowing a lot about him, but just knowing that he was a scribe. But I think this quote is one of my favorites because it kind of just shows that, like, who Violet is at the end of the day. Like, she's a weapon because she's a writer, but she has all the real power because she has the mind of a scribe, which is the quote has it already been revealed in
No,
this
it's
book
in
yet?
like Iron Flame.
Yeah, but it's like heart of a writer, mind of a scribe.
Yeah.
But it's one of my favorite quotes because I think that's just truly how she is. And him saying that you're not like them, Violet. She just didn't unlock her power when she was young, but now that she's a writer, she's proven herself.
Yeah. So there is a quote between Andarna and Violet, and Violet goes down to the archives, and she's feeling kind of sad because she's thinking about what could have been when she's down there, and she could have been a scribe. And so Andarna feels her sadness, and she asks her if she's upset, and Violet is just kind of like, no, I'm just visiting the archives, that's it. And Violet says, or Andarna says, it's hard to love a second home as much as the first. And then Violet says, it's easy when the second home is the right one.
You know what just came to me? So Andarna was a little baby.
Mm-hmm.
So she has so much knowledge because, she was waiting to hatch
Right.
for like 500 years. I'm like, it's hard to live a second home as much as the first. This might be.
Do you think she's reborn? Well, she has to be what killed off the Venom.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I have so many questions.
Many theories, but no, I didn't mean to like sidetrack it. But I was like, now that you're saying it out loud, I'm like, what else does that mean?
Yeah.
Knowing Rebecca and how she like writes and like everything means something.
Yeah.
But no, I love that quote. It's so
cute.
Baby Eduardo was literally the cutest.
I know.
I love her. Now she's a moody teenager.
Moody.
You have some really good ones.
Thanks. Do you have more? I have like 3 more.
Well, my last one.
Read it, girl.
It's super small, but it is when Miss Zaddy is being so protective over Violet when she's getting attacked, and he sees like Oren, and he goes, "You're all fucking dead." Can you imagine what that looked like?
Yeah.
When he said that?
Yeah, I can.
That's my last quote.
Okay, I'll brush through my last 3. Okay, so first of all, I just have to comment. We've been saying that we're dumb readers, but truly in this moment I am, and there's more that I can think of. There's a moment in chapter 19 where Violet says, this is in her head because it's in italics, "I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive. I repeat the mantra in my head as Xaden wipes the blood from my dagger on the back of Oren's tunic. Yes, you're alive."
How did he hear her?
Because he read her mind.
He read her mind.
Okay, also from chapter 19, I believe this is Sigale. It might be Andarna, but I believe it's Sigale. I just like this quote because it explains what a signet is, and I feel like that's useful to know. So a signet is a combination of our power with your own ability to channel. It reflects who you are at the core of your being.
We've been trying to figure out what our signet.
Oh, yes.
I don't remember what mine was.
I think that you're Dain. We talked about it because you're so desperate for information.
You're right. Oh,
and I think we talked about me being a shadow wielder.
You're right. Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah.
I just hate being like Dain, but I would totally need to know.
You might be intrinsic. Maybe.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
You like to know what people are thinking, so.
Oh my god. We are Xaden. One.
Yeah.
Together we
my
are
gosh,
Xaden.
that's true.
That's iconic.
That is kind of crazy.
No, that's pretty good. I just, what's your guys' signet? What do you think yours
Comment
is?
down below.
Comment down below what you think yours is.
It does make me wonder, though. There's so many theories for what Violet's second signet is, because like she's gonna have one, and like who is she at her being, or at her core?
At her core, I don't know. I've always thought it had something to do with her being a scribe.
I think it.
Like her
I
knowledge.
I think it does.
Something with it. But we'll see in Onyx Storm if we get any more into that.
Well, Rebecca said that it's very obvious in Iron Flame.
Rebecca, for the dummies like us,
yeah,
it's not.
Yeah.
Unless it is. Ooh, did you say that one quote?
No, I was saving it for last.
Oh, yes, you were.
So my last quote is from Xaden, and it's just, I know how to handle a corset.
Yeah, he does. So awesome and willing to help. Like how he's so helpful.
He's just making sure she didn't get a broken rib.
Yeah.
He really was. It wasn't even a sexual moment.
No, he was just
but
like,
it was.
no, I know how to. So
don't worry. Also, like, who's wearing corsets
in a
a work college?
I don't know.
He's a liar. Anyway.
I mean, he gets around.
All right. Moving into.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, I was just saying, there was like a lot more quotes in the next episode we're definitely gonna do, and oh my god, I'm just thinking about it's gonna be a lot for you guys.
Definitely. But for now, it's time to thrive and theorize. Okay, we have a couple theories that we would like to point out. I will say we have scalp prickles on here. We've already discussed.
That'll just be across the entire series.
Okay, our first one. I brought this up because it's said multiple times that you are not allowed to talk to another person's dragon, or you're not allowed to talk to a dragon that isn't yours. And that even gets brought up because when they go out into the field, Xaden starts yelling at Taryn, And Violet is like, oh my god, don't kill him. He saved me. And she's like, you're not supposed to talk to him. But then that's when she finds out that she can hear Sigale and he can hear Taryn because of their bond and because they're mated and all of that. But when they are at presentation, Violet talks to those dragons who think that she killed Dain. How's that allowed?
I don't know.
And she's talked to other dragons after this as well.
I'm thinking it has to do with something with our theory that she has, like, of the what you are. Is she something from dragon? You know, like this.
She is a dragon.
She's a dragon. Because, I mean, going back to, like, Lilith's pregnancy, something must have happened.
Yeah.
And it made, you know, Violet the special little lady that she is.
Yeah.
And, like, maybe she has some type of...
I'm just curious. I'm just throwing it out there. Why is she okay to talk to? Why didn't, like, no dragon wants to wants to hurt her, except for Solus.
Yeah.
But he's a special case.
Yeah. I don't know. It's very interesting because we think that they would get, like, the elders get pretty intense about a lot of things.
But the elders also talked about her, according to Andarna.
Yeah.
They talked about, like, this girl coming to the Writer's Quadrant.
I don't know. So that's a really good theory. I don't even know
what the theory is. I just think we need to be on the lookout.
We need to look at, if any of you guys know, please let us know because that's a pretty good idea. I didn't even honestly catch that one.
I've seen some people, I don't know how this relates to dragons, but I've seen some people say that maybe she's like a descendant of Malik or one of the gods.
I saw that.
So I guess it would,
the Greek mythology.
Yeah, maybe it would relate because, I mean, the dragons are kind of their own things.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
They have their own, like, stuff
if
going
she's
on.
Like a god, maybe they look at her a little differently.
Ooh, how iconic would that be?
I know.
She's a god.
That's pretty cool.
I hope she is.
I hope she is too.
But oh yeah, the scalp prickle.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of already discussed all of those. I think that, like, going back to, like, what we were talking about, I was thinking about it since the last episode, how sometimes she'll say, like, her scalp prickles, her, like...
That's right.
Yeah, she's... the other one?
When Andarna stops time, she feels like a full body prickle.
Yeah.
So I think we were curious if it's just magic.
Or her bond, or it has something to do with, like, this power within her. But... I feel like the scalp prickling always really happens when, like, something really intense is about to happen. Yeah. So I don't know if it's, like, an intuition thing or if it's, like, again, like, it could be a power thing. There's so many parts to that theory that we have that I just don't know if, I don't know. I feel like once we get book 3, we'll kind of hopefully, like, read more into it. But I don't know. It kind of bothers me that we don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like, Rebecca has never confirmed or denied.
Yeah.
Okay, our last theory for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Why does Taryn call Violet Silver One? He calls her that right away.
Yeah.
Like, right when he sees her, he says, hop on, Silver One.
So...
Spider Monkey.
With her hair being, like, half silver.
Well, yeah.
But it's like...
He also calls her Silver One, and he calls Andarna Golden One.
Silver gold.
Silver and gold.
Silver and gold.
I can't have that on there. I'm sorry. Too late, I'm leaving it in.
No, he, again, with his one-liners that he keeps giving us is like, I need a little bit more explanation as to why it's Silver One exactly. Because,
I mean, it has to mean something also.
He has a history with her lineage of a sort, right?
Well, he doesn't like Brennan.
He doesn't like Brennan.
Which I have other reasons as to why I believe that, but we're not there yet. So.
I know for sure. I mean, we've all already known this, but Taryn, like, knew Violet before even meeting her.
Yeah.
So it just, every single time he, like, says something like, oh, like, Silver One, or, like, something along the lines of it, it always, like, kind of shows her power and, like, how much power she actually has.
Right.
So, and, like, you're, like, kind of like this chosen one title that he gives her. So, I don't know. Rebecca.
Just another thing to think of.
Gonna draft an email to Rebecca, be like, answer these questions, girl.
If we ever have her on the podcast, we will be asking the hard-hitting questions.
So many questions. But I think that's all we have for Thriving and Theorizing today.
Yeah. It's time to move into Final jam.
Dun, 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 dun. We actually finally have some songs for these ones.
Yes.
Not a big list, but
Not exact moments, but that fit the
Vibes.
theme. Actually, I kind of have a moment. So, a song that I really like is Wish Me Luck by Wallows. I actually kind of, either version is good, but the Amazon exclusive.
I love the specifics.
I think it matches the vibe a little bit more. And I could just kind of see that being like any of these scary moments, like Gauntlet, or I felt like I said that way.
Gauntlet,
Threshing, any
Parapet.
of those. Yeah, because it's just kind of like, hey, wish me luck.
Wish me
I'm
luck.
about to go die.
I was listening to that today, and I was listening to the lyrics, and
It fits, yeah.
It really does fit. The next one is Glimpse, which is kind of like
It's an
an
acoustic,
instrumental type thing, but the vibe of it
The vibe.
really goes so well.
It could be a background song for the
Yeah,
show.
for sure. I also was listening to our theme song for the show too. Aleph?
So good.
Aleph?
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Aleph?
I just feel the vibes.
But I was like, ooh, it's so spooky kind of. I
Yeah.
love it. That
Okay.
one's, but Glimpse is a really good one. I really like that one too.
We have 2 Taylor Swift songs. We know that I'm not a Swiftie, but
she will be one day because this.
I do agree with these.
So the next song is Invisible String by Miss Taylor Swift. Invisible String, one of my favorite songs. It talks about, this like invisible string theory, that everyone is connected to everything that comes to you, which is a big little tidbit to Xaden and Violet, that they were connected from the start. And especially just kind of like talking about like their bond, like this invisible string that has them pulled into each other
Yeah.
forever.
I can't explain it.
No. And just like the acoustics of Taylor Swift songs, they hit different for Fourth Wing. We'll get into one of them later, which is so good. But more like her folklore and like her Evermore albums, they really hit well for these books.
Lastly, we have I Can See You by Taylor Swift. I don't have a specific moment. I just think that this fits the overall, something on the vibe.
It's this like grungy, like secretive, intimate moment type song. It's like, oh, I can see us making out on the wall, and I know that that's like Violet's like anthem.
Yeah.
She's like, I can see me and you, Xaden, just like making out right here. So I love that. I love the grunginess. It's so good. It really gets into her. Yeah.
And here we are at the end of our episode.
Wow, look at this little traveling little storyline we just went through. We covered a lot of this first part of the book.
The sun has gone down.
Yeah, we're in a whole different part of the day.
Yeah.
But next episode shall be very interesting again. We're getting into one of our favorite chapters.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. We are going to be doing chapters 21 through 25 in the next episode, and it is covering one of our favorite chapters.
I'm so excited.
So it's very exciting.
Yeah.
We'll have a lot to say about that.
Absolutely. But we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let us know how you like it. Let us know your thoughts about these chapters, what you were thinking,
Definitely.
some quotes, or just moments in general. Let us know.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, at Literally Obsessed Pod. Like this. Rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you
We'll
guys.
see you guys next time.
episode.
Bye.